So to get started for the supported back bend, I'm actually going to give you three options depending on how deep of a back bend you're looking for. So if you have one of those inflatable balls, you could put that, right underneath the shoulder blade here, and then use something to support the head, because chances are if you lean back, it's going to be overstretching. You could do a rolled up blanket underneath the shoulder blades. The arms would be above the shoulder blade, or a supported fish pose with two blocks. So supported fish pose will have one block going horizontally, again, across the shoulder blades. The other block you take behind the head and you slowly release down. Now I have both of my blocks at the lowest level. You might want to adjust the upper back block to a little bit higher. And let's just start off with the knees bent so that we can really relax the lower back. Because, even though it may feel good stretching out the front of the hips, first we want to just make sure that the lower back can relax into the floor. And when we extend the legs, if this psoas muscle is tight, then it can pull the hips forward and create unnecessary tension in the lower back. So to start, we're going to focus on breathing into the belly and the lower back, inviting that area to expand with the breath. And then exhale, release. Breathe into the belly, allow it to inflate. Maybe even rest your hands here so you get that feedback. And then exhale, the belly deflates. And just repeat this in rhythm with your own breath. And you may find, because you have something underneath the lower back, the upper back, that you notice the breath there as well. It might be a little bit more obvious. Now you could try extending the legs long and just check in. Notice how the lower back feels here. So one is not better than the other. Extending the legs, again, can create a nice stretch for the hip flexors. But keeping the knees bent can maybe give you a little bit more control as we go through the pelvic the pelvic tilts, the flexion and extension. So resting your hands on your hip, as you breathe in, the belly expands and the arch of the lower back lifts away from the floor. And then as you exhale, the belly deflates and you roll your hips back and you remove the arch. So inhale, we arch, and exhale, release the arch. Again, do this in rhythm with your own breath. And depending on the extent of what you have underneath your lower back, this is going to be a little bit more challenging than when we have nothing under the lower back, the upper back, sorry. Yeah, just one more breath, just pause here. Now, if you have that ball, the inflatable ball, you might want to just sort of roll it along the upper back. If you have the block or a blanket, it's a little harder to roll, but you could just do sort of a little shimmy shimmy to kind of massage out those muscles. And think about sliding the fascia. So the fascia is, we have superficial fascia, which is, the most surface layer, and then we have deep fascia. So just imagine you're just sliding this fascia across the muscles. And you're doing that just by kind of shifting your upper back side to side. And then when you're ready, we're just going to roll off of the support that we have. And you can move this to the side, your blanket, blocks, or ball, and you come onto your back. Take a moment and just notice the imprint that the props and that breath work have made on your body. And then draw the knees in towards you. Hands come on the knees. And let's just make some circles with the knees away from each other. Just warming up the joints. Again, this time of the year, we can be doing a lot of yard work. And then seasonal allergies can trigger the immune system. And sometimes as a result of the immune system, we can have achy, maybe stiffer joints. And then just reverse the circles in the other direction. Welcome, Barbara. I hope you weren't waiting too long. Sorry about that.
No, my computer decided it needed to take 10 minutes to update Windows.
All right, we're just starting on our backs and we're doing some circles, some hip circles with the knees. And then let the knees come together and let's circle the knees together. So nice sort of warm up for the lower back. Again, doing a lot of bending over and lifting can put a little bit more strain on the lower back. Let's reverse the direction. Pause here, extend the legs up towards the ceiling, and let's circle the ankles. In reverse direction. Pause here. Hug the right knee in towards you, and then slowly lower the left leg to the floor. Now, just be mindful of how the lower back feels. If at any point in time it feels like a strain, just bend the knee and just lower the leg to the floor. And as you're lowering it, just notice when certain muscles kick in. And when the leg touches down, pause here and enjoy a few breaths. Breathing into the belly inflates. And exhale, the belly deflates. Repeat that breath and see if you can relax the shoulders. Can you relax the arms? And just 2 more rounds of breath here. And then draw the left knee in towards you. Hug the left leg, extend the right leg up to the ceiling. And core is engaged as you slowly lower the right leg down. Just notice, do you feel this in the quad? Do you feel it around the knee? Do you feel it in the lower back? Do you feel it in the belly, the front of the hips, the jaw? Just notice where you feel engagement. Once the leg touches down, allow the breath to inflate the belly. And then exhale, relax the lower back. And you soften the shoulders. Allow them to broaden against the floor. Can you relax the arms? Just 2 more breaths. And then extend the left leg long, arms reach overhead, take a full body stretch. Walk the legs over to the left. Grab the right wrist, stretch the upper body to the left. Now, can you keep both shoulder blades to the ground? So we're creating this banana shape. And you could cross the right leg over the left. That's going to increase the stretch on the outside of that right hip. Now, as you breathe, where can you create space? As you exhale, where can you soften? Where can you find ease? And come back through center, nice full body stretch. Walk the legs over to the right, grab the left wrist and stretch. The option to cross the left ankle over the right. And come back through center. Again, nice full body stretch. And then draw the knees in, give them a little hug. And then extend the knees so they're right over the hips. Relax the lower back. And the knees are hips distance apart, and then the ankles are in line with the knees. So you don't want them right close together. It's like if we were standing, you have the alignment of hips, knees, ankles all aligned. And can you keep the lower back towards the floor? If not, you may need to bring your knees a little bit closer towards the chest. And now hands can come behind the head. On your inhale, lift up. This is going to be sort of home base. Next inhale, lift a little higher. Next inhale, a little higher. Exhale back to home base. We'll just do 2 more of those. Inhale, lift, 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 home base. Lift, 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 all the way down. Hug the knees in. And grab your block. Let's take it between the knees. I'm doing the most narrow. Again, you want to have the knees lined up with the hips, so you might go a little bit wider. That allows your body to be more aligned. Arms come out to the side, palms down. Deep breath in, a gentle squeezing of the block, and lower the knees towards the left. If the right shoulder starts to come up, you stop. and then pause. Use the bottom knee. Press the knee into the block to bring you up. We're working the obliques here. Exhale, lower the knees towards the right. And then use the bottom knee to bring you back up. And just continue this side to side. Slow is better. Just noticing when the different core muscles fire. And we'll just do one more each side. And then remove the block, lower the legs down. Let's come to seated and then onto hands and knees. Spreading the fingers wide. And if you can try to have the weight more on the thumb and index finger, that's the stronger part of the hand. It's a larger bone connected to them. Toes are turned under. And do a few cat and cows here. And let's meet up in a neutral spine. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Maybe take the left hand to the outside of the right. Exhale back through center. Deep breath in. Exhale to the left. And maybe take the right hand to the outside. Come back to center. Setting up for threading the needle. Left arm sweeps up and do a couple of circles. Pause with the arm extended up. Slide it underneath the right. Just pause. We're going to do this 2 more times. And then extend it. Slide underneath. Just pause. Extend back. Slide it underneath, and then this time lower down. And you could use a block to rest that left arm if coming all the way to the ground doesn't agree with your body. And maybe you tent the right fingertips, making some eagle talons. And try to level off the hips. So that left hip is going to try to follow the shoulder. Can you draw that back? So that we're encouraging the rotation through the torso and not through the hips. When you're ready, exhale, extend, counter stretch. And back to table. Notice the 2 sides of the body. And then the right arm stretches up. You just kind of loosen it up with some circles here. Take it in both directions. Pause with the arm extended up. And then 3 times, you're going to stretch under the left arm. And then extend it up. One more fake out. And then this time, come all the way through, landing on the right shoulder. And then exhale, unthread the needle, back to center. Extend the left leg back and press through that heel. Try to straighten that knee. Get a nice stretch through that left leg. And think about creating space in that left hip joint. You think about how often this is weight bearing. Invite this space. And then you pause, extend the right arm straight forward, palm faces down. Maybe add the left leg, lifting it up. Now you might notice some little wobbles. We're going to challenge that by taking the arm and leg away from the midline. And then back to center. Imagine you're doing this through water. Lower the right hand down. Take that left leg over to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Back to the center. Extend the right leg back. Press and release. As you're doing this, the first side I had you focusing on the leg and creating space. Let's just notice the shoulders and the neck. You slide the shoulders down your back and down towards each other to create more space between the shoulders and the ears. Just check, make sure where the weight on the hands are. If you shift the weight more to the thumb and the index finger, just notice how that feels on the wrists. And then pause, extend the left arm straight forward. Try to relax the shoulder though. Have the palm facing towards the midline. Float the right leg up. Just notice the wobbles and then the regain of balance. Then extend leg and arm away from the midline, just like you're flowing through water back to the center. Try to keep them at the same height. When you come back to the center, pause, lower the left hand down, and then take the right leg over to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Back to center. Let's take that right hand, flip it upside down, just a little stretch for the wrists. So you're spreading your hand. See if you can touch the thumb and the index finger to the floor. And then your left hand is the brake. So you decide how much weight to allow to the right side. And then let's switch. So left palm flips up. A nice stretch across the palm of the hands. And then come back to center. Do a little bit of a flow to, again, just kind of warm up the lower back. If this doesn't feel good on your shoulders, you're going to go from child's pose to table. If you'd like to try sort of a deeper back bend, as long as the shoulders feel okay with this, hips go back to the heels. And then inhale, your table's a little longer. Begin to lower the hips towards the floor. As you do that, slide the shoulders down the back of the body. So we're going to flow. So you pick which one feels better in your body. The inhale, you're coming forward. See if you can time the movement with your breath. The breath is setting the pace. Maybe close your eyes and just notice the sensations and perhaps how they change as the body begins to open up and the joints get a little more lubricated. Any stickiness in the lower back? Just go very gentle with this. Don't push to the full expression. So maybe you can feel those vertebrae, sort of melting into the arch. But if there's any sort of like creak, 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 just back off a little bit. Don't go too deep too fast. Now, next time you're in your child's pose, pause here. You're going to bend the elbows and clasp the hands together, or put the hands together like in prayer position. Now see if you can take your hands towards the back of the head. And now imagine you're dragging your elbows towards your knee, or you're shortening the mat between the elbows and the knee. And release back to table. Toes turn under and lift up into your downward dog. Let's do a bent knee downward dog. So lower back is long. Now, just for fun, think about stretching your heels back to the floor. Notice what happens to the lower back. Usually there's a little bit of a rounding there. So rebend them. Notice how the lower back feels. Notice the natural sort of arch in the lower back. And then just bend the right knee. Keep the left leg. You can straighten the left leg. Now, do you still feel that natural arch in the lower back? And then switch. And just pedal out the legs. And see if you can hold a dog now while maintaining alignment in the spine. Let's come down to the knees. Have your blocks handy. You do some low lunges, and this is something that I try to do every morning when I first wake up. Take the right knee forward, and then we're just going to lengthen and bend. I just find this a really nice way to get the joints going and the muscles going. Now you can stay with this or curl the back toes under and straighten the back leg. And one isn't better than the other. They're just focusing on different muscles. But for some people, lifting that back knee up does not feel great in their body. If you have the back knee up, how straight can you keep that back leg? Can you really press through so there's no bend in the knee? Really pressing through that left heel. And then lower the back knee if it's lifted. And maybe take the hands to the hips. So we have a knee down lunge. Now you might find this a little wobbly. You can always take your hands back to the blocks. If you're feeling steady, inhale, lift the arms up, and then bend the elbows, draw them down towards the side of the body 3 times. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, pause with the arms up. Lower the hands to the blocks. Lengthen the front leg. Maybe walk the blocks a little closer to you. And let this leg, like a windshield wiper, just flow side to side. So the ankle's not moving. You're going to see the foot moving. But the movement's coming from this leg bone in the hip socket. And then pause. Take the right knee back to meet the left. Toes curl under, standing on the knees. Belly lifts, tailbone lengthens, shoulders roll back. And then exhale, lean back. So nice stretch for the front of the legs. Inhale, rise up 2 more times. And just go to the degree that feels right in your body. After 3, pause. Now let's come into puppy pose or Anahata Asana. You walk your fingertips forward, hips stay above the knees, and forehead flows to the direction of the floor. I'm trying to open up again the upper back. Energetically draw the wrists towards the shoulders. And then slither into Sphinx pose. Grab one of your blocks. Have it just above your head so the hands can reach it. Forehead to the mat. So this is a really nice back side of the body strengthener. So hands on either side of the block, and the block is horizontal. Legs close together. And then on your inhale, let's practice first just lifting the arms up. But as you press the hands into the blocks, you may feel the muscles activate, and it's actually a little bit more manageable. And then lower down. Now this time, rooting into the hip bones, lift the legs. Now, can you keep the legs straight? For many people, there's a tendency for the knees to bend, but really press out through the legs. You might find you go a little higher when you make sure the knees are straight. And then lower down. We'll do a little pulsation. If you can do both together. Otherwise, alternating arms and legs. So on the inhale, you lift. Remember to press the hands into the block. Remember to breathe. Exhale, you lower. 2 more of those. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Make a pillow with your hands, bend the knees, and let the legs flow. Relax the legs, come into your Sphinx pose. And this is a really nice pose to do during your breaks. You can stay here. Curl the toes and lift up into forearm plank. forearm plank. Yes, it is working the core. It's also working pretty much every muscle in the body. Take advantage of the leg muscles and the glute muscles by really pressing through the heels. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together. Remember to breathe. Take a little break if you would like. We're going to do 10 more breaths. And release. Hold the Sphinx pose. Maybe gently rock from hip to hip.
It's a good one.
Okay, let's come on to the left side. So your left arm is going parallel to the top of the mat. And let's start by crossing the right foot as a little kickstand. The left foot is flexed. You can use your right hand. Press into the left forearm. Lift up. Maybe extend the arm. So really flexing that left foot, pressing into it so you can access the leg and the hip. Just 3 breaths here. Lower down. We're going to take the other side. So right forearm parallel to the right side of the mat. And just make sure that your hips are stacked. Sometimes there's a tendency to roll back or roll forward. Cross the left foot over. And use your left hand as well. So taking the time to really get that right leg flexed, the right foot flexed. Root to rise. So pressing into the right forearm, the right leg. Maybe the left arm comes up. Just 2 more breaths. Release down. Come into your Sphinx pose. And bend the knees, let them flow side to side.
Good one.
Release those. Press up. Either take a child's pose or a downward dog. And so we're using this as a nice counter stretch for the lower back. Just notice which one of those options feels better for you. And lower the knees to the floor, come into your table pose. And then come up on hands and knees, step the left foot forward. So we'll do those low lunges on the other side where we extend.
It's hard.
Some heat generated here. So spring is a time for a stronger, I hate to say the word vigorous, but just a little bit more energetic practice than the winter. And that can mean different things to different people, depending on, your body. If you like, you can lift the back knee up and do some of these bend and extend. And next time the knee's bent, lower the back knee to the floor. And transition the hands maybe to the fingertips, the front thigh, maybe the hips. You might need to make some adjustments to keep your balance. And if you like, arms reach up, and we'll do 3 pull-up bars. You draw the elbows down, and then inhale, reach. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Opening up the chest. Pause after the 3rd one. Release the hands to the blocks. Lengthen that front leg. And then let it flow, the leg bone in the hip socket. Like a windshield wiper. Pause. Take that left knee back to meet the right. Take your blocks. Just take them to the outsides of your legs. Toes curled under. So camel poses are really deep back bend. So I'm going to offer several bus stops as we get into it. So again, think about having core engaged. You're lifting up and over. So you can start with the fingertips on the block. Just notice how this feels. So you're looking for a nice stretch on the front of the body without pinching in the lower back. Now you could stay right here. You could start with the right arm. You lift it up. Stretch through. Maybe you can feel the heels. And then maybe the other side as well. Try to relax the glutes as much as possible here. And then slowly release out of this and take a moment. Because you can feel a little lightheaded, so no hurry in moving on to the next movement. But when you're ready, we're going to come to standing at the front of the mat. And no hurry. Take your time. Just check in, because again, this has been maybe a little bit more vigorous. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Get some thumbs up. Great. All right. In front of your space. Inhale, reach the arms up, gentle back bend. Exhale, draw the elbows down to the side of the body. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, feel a bungee cord drawing your chest towards the ceiling. 1 more time. Pause with the arms up. Exhale, palms come down. Lower the hands towards the sides. Step the right leg back. Now, if you can, crescent lunge. You're on the ball of the back foot. If the balance doesn't feel right, you could drop the heel and do warrior one. Inhale, arms rise up. Take the arms out to the sides, palms face down. Take the right arm like you're going to arm wrestle Palm is facing towards the center line. Left arm comes underneath. Maybe the palms come together. Now, if that doesn't feel good, you just take the hands on either shoulder. This is a nice sort of upper back stretch. This is going to challenge balance. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Sorry, the elbows up, coming into a gentle back bend here. Really root down into that front foot. Lower the elbows to shoulder height. Shift the weight to the front foot.
No.
Float the back leg up. Bring that back knee into the chest. Bend the left knee. We're coming into eagle. Now your block, my block is very nicely positioned to the outside of that left foot. If yours happens to be as well, you can rest the foot on top of it. You could also wrap the leg around and sit deep into your eagle. Unravel the arms. Unravel the legs. Release to the floor. Let's just roll out those shoulders. Take that on the other side. Step the right leg, left leg back. Arms rise up. Arms come out to the sides. Palms face down. Left arm comes in like you're going to arm wrestle. Right arm underneath. I find the two sides are quite different. Pressing into that right foot. Maybe the elbows rise up and you find a deeper back bend. Lower the elbows to shoulder height. Shift the weight to the front foot. Back leg floats. Bring the knee into the ribs. Bend the standing leg. Wrap the left leg around. Maybe there's a block to rest on. Maybe you wrap it around. If you can sink a little deeper. Unwrap the legs. Unwrap the arms. Inhale, reach, expand, stretch. Exhale, lower the arms. All right, let's step the right leg back for warrior two. So hips are open. Arms come out to the sides. Let's just do a in and out 3 times. So just setting our body up for this pose. And then you pause in your warrior two. Look out over the left fingertips. Flip the left palm, reach up and back. Keep the left knee bent. And then inhale back to your warrior two. Hands come on the hips. Toes are turned out, heels are in, and just let the weight sort of shift from side to side. And then you're getting a little deeper each time. And then when you find your depth, you pause. So this is our sort of practicing engaging the core while we're lifting. So again, just notice how this feels on your body. You know, flex forward, so you're engaging the core, and then you just go as far as it feels comfortable. Imagine you're picking something up. Straighten the legs. Bend the knees, sink down, arms reach down. Imagine you're picking up, engage from the core, rise up. Just one more time. Bend the knees, Flex forward, grab your imaginary, whatever it is, and pause. Bend the knees, arms come into goddess pose, elbows flex. Again, stretch across the chest. And let's just hold for 3 breaths, not a deep hold. And then you rise. Notice how it feels to release that. And arms reach to the hips. Now let's spin the right foot. Come into warrior 2 on the other side. Arms reach up and open. Flow 3 times. Okay, flip the right palm up, reach up and back. Inhale back through warrior 2. And then take the hands on the hips. Let's come back through that squat pose, just to allow yourself to kind of shift side to side again here. And once again, we'll practice the engage the core, reach down, inhale, rise. 2 more times. Flex forward, engage the core, grab your imaginary leaf pile, and 1 more time. Straightening the legs, just heel, toe the feet together. Take a little hop turn and come to the front of your space. All right, you guys ready for the floor?
Yeah.
All right, so let's come down onto the floor. If you've got a strap handy, not, you can use your sweatshirt or anything you might have to use as a tie. And take a moment with the knees bent. Take a few deep breaths, signaling the body that we are transitioning to integration time. And the time for your body to receive the different movements and neural pathways that we stimulated. Draw the right knee in and take your tie, place it on just above the heel of the foot, extend the right leg up. You just make some small circles here. And just watch the leg bone moving in the hip socket. And take it in the other direction. Pause, extend the left leg long. Tie in the right hand. And left hand on the left hip. Release that right leg out to the side. And again, try to straighten that knee, pressing through the heel. Flexing the right foot. Then heel back through center. Take the tie in the left hand and allow the leg to come across the body. Find a comfortable spot for that right arm. If it doesn't touch the floor, maybe it rests on the hip. You'll rise back to center, remove the tie, hug the knee. Take a few breaths. Can you relax the lower back a little bit more here? Can you relax the shoulders, the neck, the jaw? Draw the left knee in and lower the right foot to the floor. Tie goes just in front of the heel of the left leg. Let's start with some slow, small circles. I'm not trying to stretch the muscles here, just getting rid of any stickiness right in the joint capsule. Pause, maybe extend that right leg. Tying the left hand, release the left leg out to the left. Again, really pressing out through the heel. Knee is straight. Heel back through center. Tying the right hand. Spinal twist. Go back up to center. You can remove the tie. Hug the knee in. Relax the back. Relax the shoulders, the arms. Then extend the left leg long, arms extend long. Take a full deep breath. And then release into Shavasana. Allow your next breath to be a little longer and a little deeper. Invite gentle movements into your body. When you're ready, gently roll to your side. Taking a moment of pause, reflection, noticing how your body feels. When you're ready, slowly make your way up to seated. If you'd like to join me for a chant of Om, take a deep breath in. Om. Faith. Thank you guys. If you have comments or questions,